Until next time, have a happy Type Moon June. Ironically, both processes involve being inside Saber.
You may think he's lying because he's evil, but it's actually the truth.
Why didn't you just kill yourself? You said
everyone must fight.
Another year, another Type Moon June. I am proud to say that this year is the first year all of the videos came out in June. No Type Moon July this year. That may seem like a small thing, but this was actually one of my goals for this year, and I'm insanely proud that I pulled it off. I want to thank everyone for making this year's Type Moon June another huge success. You guys are the best. Today we're pulling back the curtain and going behind the scenes for each video, and I'll be revealing the secret of Type Moon June. So let's do this one more time. You may or may not have noticed that this year's intro was remade from the ground up. The difference is subtle, but this one is way closer to the source, which is the Type Moon logo from Rialta Nua's intro. I only just started learning motion graphics this year, but it was more than enough to improve the intro tenfold. Hopefully one day when I get even better, I can make my own unique intro. This year's Type Moon June started with another obscure doujin fighter. I'll be honest, I didn't expect to squeeze much from this stone, but I guess my special ability is being able to talk about anything Type Moon related for at least 10 minutes. One of the commenters pointed out that this game is extremely similar to Kinuku Man Muscle Tag Match on the NES. I played it for a bit and yeah, the inspiration is obvious, but this one is better because it has Lancer in it. Doujin games tend to have web manuals written in basic HTML and CSS. It's an easy way to have a manual included on the disc while taking up next to no space. This one is certainly basic. What, no pictures? There is a section with comments from the devs and voice actors, which was pretty cool to see. I love behind the scenes stuff. When getting music for this video, I went digging through the files and found this file. Instead of it being a track from the game, it's a message from the voice actors. It kinda spooked me when I heard it because I wasn't expecting Japanese to be blasted into my eardrums. I can't translate any of it, yet I feel like I'm not missing much. Our second episode this year was a tried and true character spotlight. I had two stories in the running for this year's character spotlight. It was Akira's Alliance of Illusionary Eyes versus Akiha's A Story for the Evening from Kagetsu Toya. I ultimately chose Alliance of Illusionary Eyes because it was the simpler, more straightforward story, and Akiha's story would have required a lot more context. Plus, I got to talk about another Shiki. Maybe next year we'll talk about some Kara no Kyokai to keep up the tradition. My only regret was I wish I had more time to dive into the themes of the story and the characterization of Akira and the imposter. Getting to use Tsukihime's OST in a video is always a treat, and despite only being 10 tracks long, Tsukihime has to be one of Type Moon's best OSTs. One last thing I was planning to put into the video was speculation on which timeline this story takes place in. But I think it's pretty clear based on evidence from what the imposter and Shiki state. First, the hotel incident is directly mentioned. This means we can rule out all three of the far side routes. Next, Shiki mentions CL giving him a hard time. If we take that comment at face value, we can rule out CL's route. By the end of that route, Shiki and CL's bond is ironclad, and I don't think she'd doubt him like that and think he's just going around killing people for no reason. So that only leaves Arcuade's route or the Melty Blood timeline. That's my theory, but let me know what you think. This episode had my favorite moment in all of this year's Type Moon June. Now, at the end of last episode, I put a prediction up, and I really did expect you guys to be able to guess Akira from the clues. I mean, last year I did 7, the year before that I did Shiki, so I thought the pattern was established that I usually go for obscure characters. But now I'm starting to think I was a little too vague because no one got it. So then, in my brain, I was like, okay, well, I'll give them one more shot. I'll let them guess one more time, even though it was only supposed to be a bit for one video. And then everyone got it right. And praise for celebration. And then at the end of the third video, I realized I could flip the whole thing on its head and do something fun. And it seems like everyone enjoyed that. So I hope you enjoyed my shenanigans as much as I enjoyed pulling them off. For episode 3, we returned to Weird Fighting Games, and I made a conscious choice this year not to do 3 episodes of Weird Fighting Games, just because I wanted it to be a bit more of a variety this year, and I think it turned out really well. This was a game I've been dying to cover on Weird Fighting Games. Finding assets for this video was a chore. Usually my go-to would be to check out the official website, but that's long dead and the archive is incomplete. Thankfully, someone preserved a lot of the images on a free PNG site, so I got lucky there. This scrolling background was one of my favorite motion graphics I made this month. It's simple, but gets the job done. I didn't realize how unhappy I was with the state of anime fighters until I played this one. There's just an itch a good anime fighter can scratch that a Street Fighter, KOF, or 3D fighter can't. If I had more time, I would have covered Nitro Royale in more detail, but I thought that would just make the episode drag. I mean, no one wants to sit around and watch me talk about something for an hour. Next is a video in which I talked about Melty Blood for an hour. This is an idea I've had since the Melty Blood retrospective, but I always felt like I couldn't do it. Then, one Sunday morning, I was particularly stressed and wrote every entry on the iceberg from the top of my head in under an hour. Although, I did add a few entries while editing to give better context to later ones. I was worried that the iceberg would be too Lumina focused, but in the end I think I had a nice spread of topics. Honestly, that's just because I'm primarily a Lumina player. I don't get the opportunity to play classic Melty as much as I want. But that changes today. That's right, it's an open challenge to all of you. All you need to do is meet me in the Grand Rapids, Michigan IHOP parking lot at 3 a.m. every other Thursday. I have a laptop and 2 controllers, so be ready. I did get some things wrong, like the stage animations in current code can be turned on, but are off in the Community Edition by default. But for some reason they were off in the Steam version, which must have been something I did. This video was the hardest time I had editing any video, but I was still able to get it done in about 3 days of non-stop editing. Not something I'd recommend though. The thing most people are interested in is this video's special guest. It was pretty hard booking her, but once she heard it was for Type Moon June, she couldn't refuse. Unfortunately, she refuses to leave and is drinking all of my diet sodas. You may be wondering what compelled me to make a hand puppet, and the answer is quite simple. One day, while browsing the internet, I came across these official Fate Stay Night hand puppets. I thought it would be cool to get one and have them narrate the whole iceberg, kinda like a scuffed VTuber, but way less embarrassing. However, I wasn't about to pay $200 for a hand puppet, so I decided to make my own. I got a variety of fabrics, paint, cardboard, and yarn from the local craft store for about 50 bucks, and hot glued my creation to life like Victor Frankenstein. Picking the right yarn for her hair was the hardest part, but I came to the conclusion that the big thick yarn would show up better on camera. I went with the classic design because I just prefer it. We even gave her feet and a tail, even though you don't get to see them much, but I'm a sucker for the small details, and if she didn't have them, it would have driven me crazy. She turned out great, thanks to my arts and crafts specialist, who I have on retainer for such occasions. Setting up and lighting a green screen was a new experience, but it worked out surprisingly well. My best advice is get the lighting right because that seems to be the most important part. I considered using her in more of the video, but I really liked the idea of the Neko arc layer and I wanted to keep it a surprise. A lot of heart and soul was put into that part, so I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And who knows, maybe she'll make an appearance in future Type Moon videos. The month ended with a review of the first Fate Stay Night anime. So the secret to these videos is 7-second clips and lots of screenshots. Approximately 400 clips and 2,099 screenshots. While I was watching the show, I would use VLC's screenshot function, and then in my editing software I'd get the rest when cutting up clips. It was 100% worth it, but getting all of those files is a real time sink, which is why these anime videos are at the end of the month. I was worried that this video wasn't going to be up to the standard I set with the Tsukihime anime video. That one was really passionate, and when it comes down to it, I just have a deeper connection to Tsukihime than I do the Fate series. But I think that helped me be more objective in the end. Plus, I don't like ripping into things unless they really deserve it, and this anime really didn't. I was surprised to see how willing everyone was to talk about this thing though. I guess there's just something about anime that gets people riled up. In the last episode, there are a couple of homages to the visual novel. For example, when Shiro gets absorbed by the black goo, he's sent to the evil red text dimension. And when Shiro and Saber part ways at the end, they keep the narration and subtitle it. If there was any monologue to keep, that was the one. YouTube has a feature that lets you test up to 3 thumbnails at once. The test runs for 2 weeks, but if one thumbnail does really well, it'll be set automatically. Although, you only really need to run this thing for 2 days at most in my experience. I try to make about 2 per video, and here are the ones that didn't win. A good thumbnail is by far one of the most important things to get right when making a video. They're your first line of defense and what really pulls the viewer in, especially if they're not familiar with your videos. The Fate anime video was the one I had the hardest time with. I actually made 4 for this one. My favorite thumbnail from this year was the alternate one for the Akira video, but I knew this one was gonna win because that sprite is just perfect for a thumbnail. I also made teasers for each video too. They're slightly different on YouTube and Twitter since community posts have a max size of 1600 by 1600 pixels, while on Twitter I can make them thumbnail sized. I would make the bigger one first and then adapt it for a YouTube post. But yeah, I really like these teasers and I think I'm going to incorporate them into more of my videos going forward. They're a lot of fun. Last year, this channel had about 2,000 subscribers, and now it's at 4,900. I can't express in words how thankful I am for that. I love reading everyone's comments and try to respond to most of them. I mean it when I say, you guys are the best. I was thinking about the future of Type Moon June a lot, and I've come to a decision. Type Moon June will be back June 1st, 2026, so save the date. I think I want to aim for 10 Type Moon Junes, and then I'll see if I run out of ideas by then. Out of the 5 videos, my favorite has to be the iceberg video. I'm just really happy with how it turned out, and I'd love to hear which one you guys enjoyed the most too. This Type Moon June also made me realize how much I enjoy making Type Moon videos. So I'd like to make more outside of June. But would you be down for that, or should Type Moon stay in June? If you have any topics for videos, Type Moon or not, feel free to let me know, and I might consider it. As for what's next, I have many ideas and projects in the works, but this time, I'll keep them a surprise for now. Just look forward to them. Wait, that's not entirely true. I actually have a bit of a problem. I'm working on the next episode of Melty Balance, but unfortunately, I'm stuck between 3 characters and I don't know which one to choose. Instead of agonizing over it, I figured I'd let you guys vote since I love the democratic system. So if you could go to the community tab and vote in the poll for the next character, it would be an immense help because I just can't pick which one I want to do. I truly hope you enjoyed this year's Type Moon June as much as I enjoyed making it. To everyone who helped me this year, to every viewer, liker, commenter, thank you. And until 2026, I hope you had a happy Type Moon June. Oh wait, I almost forgot to reveal the secret. Well, dear viewer, the secret of Type Moon June